Come on in, welcome to Idled Out, where we talk all things Survivor. My name is Luke, and today we are ranking all 12 tribes of Survivor's new era. But what makes a good tribe? A good tribe is like a good sandwich. A solid foundation, layered with complementary ingredients, but also featuring an intriguing contrast in texture and flavor. Okay, I've gotta stop recording these videos before lunch, but you get what I'm saying. A good tribe is balanced, featuring a variety of players, each offering unique life experiences, personalities, gameplay styles, physical appearance. In a good tribe, everyone brings something to the table as a character and a player, and the tribe feels fully developed as a cohesive, or not so cohesive, unit. New era tribes have, on the whole, been quite good. Of course, not every New Era tribe is quite sticking the landing for me, but no New Era tribe was outright bad. In fact, I'd say almost all were above average at the very least, and that can be credited to the New Era's fantastic casting, but some were certainly better than others. In my ranking of all 12 tribes from Survivor 41 through Survivor 44, I'll be primarily looking at the characterization, entertainment value, and memorability first and foremost. Pre-merge, do I enjoy spending my viewing time here? Is every character bringing it, or is the tribe top-heavy character-wise? Is the strategy good, or at least messy? Are there rootable heroes and entertaining villains? Entertainment value in the tribal stage comes first and foremost here, for me. But I'll also take into account each character's post-merge trajectory if they made it that far, and whether they lost or gained momentum as entertaining characters I wanted to spend time with. There are 12 different tribes across Survivor 41 through Survivor 44, so let's get this going. Here's my ranking of all 12 New Era tribes. At number 12 is Luvu from Survivor 41. I don't think I'm going to get many arguments here. Under-edited pre-merge and full of many of the season's most subdued characters, Luvu just never really took off as a tribe, and their two biggest personalities, Sydney and Nasir, were mid-game boots. Frankly, Luvu were largely victims of their own success. As perpetual winners who never went to tribal council, we didn't spend much time here in the early game, and Luvu got kinda sandbagged in the edit as a result. Their only real storyline pre-merge was the tribe trying and failing to throw a challenge to get out Erica, and even that didn't come to fruition. In a tribe of laid-back personalities like Erica, Danny, and Heather, the relationships, not the drama, should be the centerpiece. But we never really got a handle on how all the pieces fit together outside of the pairs of Danny and Deshawn and Erica and Heather, and that last pair was only developed down the stretch. The larger personalities were overshadowed by others on that very season. Main characters with deep runs like Erica and Danny didn't get that much development until later in the game. And even the big drama that came from people on this tribe, like Deshawn's truth bomb, is kinda just a fuzzy memory for me. Like, what was he mad about again? At number 11 is Ratu from Survivor 44. This is a tribe that peaked way too early, then was carried by a single character in the post-merge. In episode 1, this tribe looked like the tribe of the season, chock full of fun characters like Hurricane Maddie, Sneaky Lauren, even sneakier Matthew, and Ray of Sunshine Jamie, all capped off with an attempted blindside on their strongest guy at the season's first tribal council, which was foiled by an idol play. It's about as dramatic a first tribal council as you could ever ask for, but then there's really nowhere for this tribe to go after that. For the rest of the pre-merge, this tribe just becomes the Matthew show, which seemingly only exists to give life to the tribe's main post-merge storyline, Jamie's fake idol. Jamie does a lot of heavy lifting on the entertainment front for Ratu, as the editors go out of their way to dunk on her mistaken belief that the fake idol she found, planted by Matthew, was real. She was the most entertaining non-Tikka of the season for me. The juxtaposition of her effervescent positivity and the audience's knowledge that literally everything she says is wrong is just Ugh, chef's kiss. I'm doing the chef's kiss thing. But the rest of the characters on this tribe just kind of fall flat. We never really get to know much about Brandon and Kane beyond a superficial level, and Lauren's a likable enough endgamer, though her early finale placement was predictable, and she was just too invisible for most of the season for me to care that much. Jamie's unexpected entertainment value brings a lot, but not enough to take Ratu higher. I'm just saying, if Maddie survived episode 1, this would be an entirely different conversation. At number 10 is Yasa from Survivor 41. Maybe the first hot take here. This is one of the most likable tribes of the new era, but they're hindered by a series of early merge placements, only one player making the endgame, and the early ouster of Voce, who would have been a great, smarmy villain. Survivor is casting villains, guys. They just keep getting voted out, like, third. The only player who really didn't work for me on an entertainment level was Abraham, who ended up being the first boot of the new era, so I gotta give props to the players on that one. The other tribe's early loss, Voce, however, is frustrating, but perhaps it's for the best, considering this tribe's main storyline. Yasa was positioned both in the edit and by themselves as the plucky underdogs, the little foursome that could, capped off with a scene where they witness baby turtles hatching and crawling to the ocean, which Evie compares them to. If you listen closely, you could hear thousands of Edgikers collectively hastily clacking away at their keyboards the second this happened. However, their underdog story is completely deflated at the merge, when Liana defects and Tiffany and Evie go home immediately. The Yasa 4 were a really likable and fun group on the whole, and if they ended up going the distance together as the little baby turtles that could, I'd probably have them higher. But it's hard for me to pull them out of the lower tier when their main storyline and their most entertaining players ended up like so many other baby turtles, as shark bait. At number 9 is Coco from Survivor 43. One thing I really like about Coco is that I understood the relationships between almost everyone at every time, especially pre-merge. I felt like I really had a handle on the pecking order and who's working with who. Even though all roads here lead back to Carla, I still feel like I had a sense of where even minor characters like Lindsay or Geo stood. There was a lot of craft put into how this tribe was presented. So why so low? It just comes down to an enthusiasm gap for me. I was never really invested in Carla and James's relationship, and I was never really invested in Cassidy getting revenge on Ryan and Geo. Maybe it's just me. The pieces all fit together, but it's just not a very interesting puzzle, and maybe even a little predictable. Was there anyone out there who wasn't certain Geo was getting a pre-merge comeuppance? I'd question your media literacy if you didn't. They had a messy pre-merge thanks to Lindsay and Geo, and a messy post-merge thanks to the breakdown of the relationship between Carla and Cassidy. But I feel like other tribes we'll get to in a bit did the whole messy tribe thing more entertainingly and more messily. At number 8 is Vessi from Survivor 43. In the pre-merge, this tribe was the Jesse and Cody show, and that's okay. So much of this tribe's early content revolves around the bromance-turned-alliance of Jesse and Cody, and basically every element of this tribe in the pre-merge was just setting up their post-merge domination storyline. Jesse and Dwight's island marriage was there to set up Jesse's later ruthlessness. Cody's frantic bead gathering setting up his impeccable social skills, them mutually cutting NECA in favor of Noelle, showing their capability to make tough decisions together. Almost every second spent on pre-merge Vessi is told from Jesse and Cody's point of view. Noelle was, of course, an inspiring breakout star later on, but this tribe is top-heavy for sure. I certainly understand why this tribe is so front-loaded with Jesse and Cody. Their post-merge domination is the main storyline of the season, but a little more Dwight and Justine wouldn't have hurt. They actually remind me of another red tribe, Jalapao. Charismatic country boy, his cerebral best friend, and miscellaneous. And despite a host of rando pre-mergers, no one in their right mind would ever call Jalapao a bad tribe. Was I living for this tribe? Yeah. Was I living so much I'd get it tattooed on my butt cheeks? I was not. At number 7 is Soca from Survivor 44. This is a great tribe hindered only by the fact that we never really got to know most of these people beyond a surface level. But when the surface level is this fun, I'm kinda okay with that. Of course, this tribe will be remembered primarily for the showmance between Franny and Matt, one of the few sincere and non-disgusting showmances in Survivor history. I don't think there was a single viewer not wanting to smush the faces of these two together and say, "Kiss." The rest of the tribe delivered too. Josh's random spike in visibility from borderline invisible to over-edited schemer without a clue was super fun, as was Claire literally strategizing from the bench. And Danny's knockoff Tony act and insistence on rolling everywhere like he's Link in Ocarina of Time was a joy to watch, even if tolerance for the Dananigans varied down the stretch. Plus, Heidi's ballsy move to put herself in fire and then win was a bold late game play. There was good strategy, bad strategy, heroes to root for, and villains whose downfall we couldn't wait to see. However, I really feel like I only got to know Franny on a deeper level, which is what keeps Soca down here at number 7. I get that we have major and minor characters in the narrative, and not everyone can be fully developed as their own person. But come on, Danny literally leaves the game doing an impersonation of another human being. At number 6 is Vati from Survivor 42. Our first tribe of Survivor 42, and that only goes to show just how great that season's cast is. This was the breakout tribe of Survivor 42's pre-merge, and I think a lot of people forget how messy this tribe truly was. It's impressive that this tribe's 4-person majority managed to somehow throw that away at their first tribal council and send home arguably the player who knew how to play this game the best, Jenny. Like, that is a genuine accomplishment reserved only for the hottest of messes. This tribe is just perfectly composed, featuring genuine gamers like Jenny, boisterous characters like Mike, and wannabe schemers like Hai and Chanel. And the best part is, everyone here thought they were better at Survivor than they actually were. Indeed, every second spent at Vati is a comedy of errors. A few personalities get lost in the mix. Lydia never really broke out for me, and Jenny was gone too soon for me to really get to know her. And everyone except Mike is gone by the mid-game. So it's a testament to this tribe's sloppily entertaining start that I have them so high. The Jenny tribal alone. Oof. Danielle and Chanel throwing their majority away will always be iconic. He really did take notes from his former employer Jeb, didn't he? At number 5 is Ika from Survivor 42. They had to be trolling when they put this tribe together. This is a tribe destined to fail physically, socially, and strategically. It's a miracle 4 of them made the merge. I genuinely think they were trying to recreate Ua here. They should have just called this tribe Tua. Seriously, 3 superfan Zoomers, each more of a Survivor obsessive than the last, on a tribe with Roxroy, the quintessential New Balance wearing, barbecue manning dad, seemingly plucked straight out of Survivor's early days. These 3 just want to play Survivor 42, and Roxroy wants to play Survivor 2. Also, Drea had a classic rise and fall, and Romeo's nosedive at the merge was entertainingly painful to watch. However, there are a few people who just never fulfilled their full potential, keeping Ika out of the super high tier for me. Zach was kind of a frustrating first boot. He's effortlessly hilarious, and I would have loved to see the Marianne crushing on him storyline bear fruit. And Tori never really emerged as the unaware Angelina-esque villain she was born to be. Tori with any kind of power instead of Tori perpetually on the ropes would have been so much fun. Not a criticism of those two, just a criticism of how things shook out. Still, a wonderful hot mess tribe of cartoon characters. I haven't seen Total Drama Island, but this is like what I imagine a tribe on that show looks like. At number 4 is Taku from Survivor 42. You talking Taku to me? I think the Taku 4 really encapsulate what has made Survivor great since episode 1. Individuals from completely different walks of life coming together. That they ultimately resisted the temptation to vote each other out all the way until Final 6 makes this alliance even more lovable, and this really is a tribe with something for everyone. Marianne and Omer are like peak new era superfans, excitable bordering on giddy, devious, and super rootable. Jonathan is the ultimate challenge beast. Even if you're not really a challenge person, you couldn't help but watch him carry Taku to the merge on his back. Literally. And Lindsay was just super well-rounded as a player. She played a classic old-school style game. Come to think of it, it's actually almost ironic that she in particular almost went home in the Mario Party-esque do-or-die twist. Anyway, I could watch these four hang out all day, sharing their lives, faiths, and Mario Kart picks. As for the non-Taku 4 Takus, I found Mariah's story compelling, even if she didn't seem emotionally ready to play Survivor. And Jackson, I guess he's ultimately a wasted spot. We could have had someone not weaning themselves off medication behind production's back instead. But the Taku 4 are obviously the beating heart of the Taku tribe and Survivor 42 as a whole. And this alliance really did give us everything. Great strategy, big characters, incredible challenge performances, fierce loyalty, brutal betrayals, and an emu shirt. At number 3 is Ua from Survivor 41. Meet the new Kasaya. Incredible that a tribe where only 2 members made the merge is in the top 3. But Ua's pre-merge destruction is one of the most compelling storylines the new era has told. On this tribe, all roads lead back to Shan, a charismatic pastor who has no issue pulling off blindsides in the most brutal way possible and robbing the people who are leaving of their advantages while doing it. By her side is Ricard, a strategic partnership which starts strong but quickly turns sour as they both realize they are each other's biggest threats. I love the rest of this tribe too. Each player is compelling in their own way. Sarah is probably the nicest person on this entire season, so of course she goes first from Ua, showing us there's no room for kindness on this tribe. I don't think Jeannie gets remembered much, but she was actually kind of petty and hot-headed. That's a compliment. Broccoli Brad, of course, may just be the most chaotic player of the entire new era. He was gone way too soon. And I have to give a shout out to JD, the perpetual punching bag of this tribe and this season's edit. In a season where everyone is given an inspirational backstory, JD's is he was once a nerd, and then he took his glasses off, and now he's not. You cannot convince me they weren't mocking him here. The uncertain alliance between Shan and Ricard is so compelling. Watching them go from genuine friends and allies in the first few episodes to their toxic and uncertain truce by the end of the pre-merge, all while their tribe implodes around them, is just great storytelling. These two were too alike to ever work together for long. Ua's losing streak was just a car crash you couldn't look away from, and the will they won't they betray each other storyline of Shan and Ricard was endlessly watchable. It had me on the edge of my seat. It's no surprise that this season peaks with the JD boot, where Shan borrows his extra vote to test his loyalty, then sends him packing. Money. At number 2 is Tikka from Survivor 44. You can decry this tribe as top-heavy all you want. You wouldn't even be wrong. But when the top is heavy with Jam Jam, Carolyn, and Carson, who even cares? Whoever put Jam Jam and Carolyn on a tribe together deserves a raise. Watching these two interact was a joy, and their relationship not only buoyed the season strategically, but also gave it so much heart and warmth. Sitcom when? Watching the perpetually underrated Tikka 3 divide and conquer at the merge was an absolute blast. And that it's 3 of the most sincere and lovable people to ever play this game, and that they came out on top in the end makes it even better. The only thing keeping them out of the top spot is the rest of the Tikkas, who weren't bad, they all just left so early that I don't really feel like I got to know them. I mean, the sum total of Bruce's confessionals literally lasts 6 seconds. My man speedran Survivor for sure. And Sarah and Helen, the potential was there, but they left too early to make a huge footprint, and they were competing with Jam Jam and Carolyn for screen time. The Tikka 3 are just such a wonderful and rootable group of players, it really doesn't even matter that the other half of the tribe aren't popping off the screen in the same way, or lasting as long. This is one of the only alliances in Survivor history where literally all of us were on the same page. Casuals love the Tikka 3. Hardcore fans love the Tikka 3. Heck, even Soca and Ratu love the Tikka 3. Come to think of it, they probably shouldn't have. The best new era tribe is Baka from Survivor 43. You know, when I sat down to write this list, I did not expect to have Baka as my number one. But looking at the tribes pound for pound, this is the only New Era tribe where every single player on it brought their A entertainment game. All killer, no filler. There is not a dud on this tribe, from kooky old man Gabler, superfan Owen, who turns into this season's Charlie Brown, Sammy's eager and sometimes reckless overplaying, upbeat rainbow-wearing Mariah, who gets the axe first, Ellie, who thinks she's running the show but embarrassingly gets outfoxed by Gabler of all people, and Janine, whose shocked Pikachu faces from the jury were the best jury bench reactions this side of Eliza Orleans. You had bad strategists who thought they were good, and good strategists who we thought were bad. The worst part of the pre-merge of 43 was that this tribe only went to tribal council once. I mean, I know that Mergatory resolved this war pretty definitively, but we deserve to know how the Gabler and Ellie beef would have shaken out. This tribe was so sloppy that if they did go to a second tribal council, a Gabler or Ellie boot wasn't even guaranteed. Who knows, Sammy or Owen could have been caught in the crossfire somehow. They weren't the hottest mess of the New Era, but they were the most fun to watch. And 5 of them made the merge stage of the game, so that also helps. On what other tribe would you have a guy put his own neck on the line as first boot, only for the tribe to turn around and vote off their most upbeat and positive member instead? Then that guy goes and wins almost unanimously, somehow. Messy, messy legends. Got nothing else for you. Do you agree or disagree? What are your favorite and least favorite tribes of the New Era? Let me know your rankings in the comments. Until next time, don't get idled out.